Hey, Chris.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a do you have a favorite superhero?
Yes, I do actually.
Oh, okay, cool. What's your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero is, Bruce Willis.
Bruce. Really?
Yes. I'm a very big fan of the way that he, kicked Severus Snape off of a building in Die Hard.
That's fair. Chase, do you have a favorite superhero?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite superhero, my guy? All right. That's great. Well, do you want to know my favorite superhero?
No.
Oh. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of What If, the show where we talk about all the canceled comic book or just nerdy related properties, TVs, and movies, and video games sometimes, maybe, possibly, perhaps, only like twice, I think. But who cares, right? I am joined this episode by ya boy, Mr. Chase Gallion.
I'm here.
And that boy, Mr. Chris.
Mr.
I am,
Chris.
in fact, a male.
I like that I always introduce me and Chase with our last names, but I leave out yours for some reason every time that I've introduced you on the podcast.
It's fine. It doesn't bother me. Who needs to know my name?
Right, so anyway, Mr. Chris Smith, I'm glad that you're here with us. I'm sorry, that was a joke.
I went to high school with a guy named Chris Smith.
Oh, word?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's like one of the most generic names I've ever heard ever. Chris Smith. Name your American fictional action hero. Chris Smith? Alright, sure. I'm joined by Mr. Christopher Grotti.
You mispronounced my last name. It's pronounced Grady and or Grady, depending on the
Oh,
dialect
sorry, I
and where
mispronounced
you
it.
are at.
Mr. Grotti. Why are you people the way that you are? Anyway, guys, this month we are talking about the canceled superhero movie Superman Flyby, because it was recommended on our last episode of What If, on the July episode. So, you asked, we answered. Yeah! Awesome. Alright, so, guys, what do you know about the canceled comic book movie Superman Flyby?
Nope.
Oh. Word. Okay, Chris, do you know anything about it?
I don't know, but it sounds bad.
Nick Cage.
Well, it probably that's Superman Lives.
But
we
so
did that
close.
episode.
Nick Cage could play
word.
Superman.
He could still play.
Flyby.
What if they got Superman in the crossover episode as Nick Cage?
Well, no,
Okay,
it's
sorry.
already Brandon Routh.
I
he's
know, but it
already
still would be
Spider-Man.
nice. Oh yeah, I forgot Nicolas Cage was Spider-Man in Spider-Verse. But anyway, let's talk about Superman Flyby, shall we? So we're a lot of our information is coming from DC Movies fandom, that wiki. So go ahead and head on over there, and there is the first draft of Superman Flyby is available if you want to read it, as well as the October 2003 draft. So you could actually read the script for this movie. It wasn't great. I'll come out of the gate and say that, especially for who they wanted to direct that. But I won't spoil that just yet.
Blasphemous.
Let's go ahead and get in it. So we're reading this from, again, the same website that I just said. So turning in his script in July 2002, J.J. Abrams' Superman Flyby was an origin story that included Krypton besieged by a civil war between Jor-El and his corrupt brother Katazor.
Ah, that sounds like cottage cheese.
Yes, Jor-El and his corrupt brother Cottage Cheese.
Yeah, cottage cheese is always corrupt. It's the first thing to go bad.
Corrupt Cottage Cheese
You ever
merch
taste like
coming this December.
Hey, if anyone ever gives someone a descriptor that is cottage cheese, like they smell like cottage cheese, you don't like that person. So, it works.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Have you ever tasted
Cottage cheese?
Gross.
It's not bad.
No,
it's not bad.
Of course you
Cottage
like it.
cheese.
You'd like
Cottage
cottage
cheese,
cheese, wouldn't you, Joseph?
cottage cheese,
You like cottage
cottage-
cheese. You're probably like
cottage
90%
cheese,
cottage
it's
cheese.
good. Cottage cheese is good for fitness meals. Healthy meals are great with cottage cheese. All right, shut up. All right, so we're back into it. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so before Katazor sentences Jor-El to prison, I guess cottage cheese won
Yes.
that fight, just like it should win every fight, because it is a good base little
Oh, you'd
substance
like
to
cottage
make
cheese,
your
wouldn't
meal.
you?
And it
Cottage
also,
cheese.
It also just won because it knocked him out from the pure raunchiness of its smell.
There we go.
You know, I don't need you sassing cottage cheese as much as you
Take
guys
that,
are sassing
cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese is good.
Why are we
So
boiling
shut up.
cheese?
I don't know, but I think Joseph just cut out again.
Oh my god.
He didn't.
Okay.
Cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese.
I hate you guys. All right, but whatever.
Don't you love
Look,
cottage
anyway,
cheese?
so before Katazor sentences Jor-El to prison, Kal-El, Superman, is launched to Earth to fulfill a prophecy. Yay, guys, prophecies. Don't you love prophecies in your Superman movies? That totally fits with the character of Superman, prophecies.
This sounds bad.
Yeah, it's, yeah. Anyway, adopted by Jonathan and Martha Kent, he forms a romance with Lois Lane in the Daily Planet. However, Lois is more concerned with exposing Lex Luthor, written as a government agent obsessed with UFO phenomena.
So it's X-Files and Superman.
Yes. For some
That
reason.
doesn't sound bad in theory.
Yeah, but Lex Luthor as a government agent is bad.
I
That-
mean, that's basically
that no
what he was in
good, that
Batman v
bad.
Superman.
All right. Clark reveals himself
you're not
to the
wrong.
world as Superman, bringing Katazor's son Tyzor to Tyzor? What? And 3 other Kryptonians to Earth. Superman is defeated and killed.
By
clapped.
cottage cheese and his other related dairy products.
Cottage Cheese's son.
Oh,
So blue, blue cheese. Oh my god.
blue cheese. Superman gets clapped by blue cheese.
Yes, Superman is murdered by blue cheese.
Oh, dude, that sounds like a Pizza Hut ad.
I know I am every single time I go to Buffalo Wild Wings. It just hits me wrong. Man.
Oh,
Blue cheese.
good times. Okay. So, after Superman is killed, he visits Jor-El, who committed ritualistic suicide on Krypton while in prison.
What'd you say? What'd you
in
say?
I said Krypton in
Krypton?
prison.
Is that
Krypton.
prison in Krypton?
Yes, my man Jor-El, he commits very much suicide in prison on Krypton. It's very nice. He make himself into Wicker Man.
So, first of all, they meet in Kryptonian heaven after Jor-El kills himself
What?
and Superman is murdered. Yes, seriously. He meets his dad in Kryptonian heaven.
Hey, dude.
He dead.
Yeah. Also,
commit
Krypton hasn't
suicide.
exploded.
Ugh.
He got-
So, I don't... What's happening right now? Like, what is this script?
All right.
Oh,
Just
okay.
imagining the Deathly Hallows scene, you know, where Harry meets Dumbledore, and they're all in like the white space or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing that, and it's just like I'm picturing Nick Cage playing Jarrell just for some reason, because we haven't heard any cast choices or anything, and he's like, "Son, I got clapped by some cottage cheese." Oh, really, Dad?
I got clapped by cottage cheese.
That was horrible. I committed ritualistic suicide inside of a wicker man on Krypton. There were bees.
I got clapped by cottage cheese, and you got clapped by blue cheese. It's good times. I'm glad this is happening. Thanks for the dairy jokes, Chase.
You're welcome.
It's daring comedy.
Oh,
It's legend.
dairy.
We're
Wait
gonna
for
milk
it.
these jokes for all they got.
Oh, this is just getting a little cheesy.
Oh yeah, well you're getting ice cream. Wait,
Oh,
that doesn't
okay.
work.
all right, moving
This
on.
podcast
All
is
right.
lack jokes intolerance.
So Superman gets resurrected because reasons. He returns to Earth and defeats the 4 Kryptonians, while the script ends with Superman flying back to Krypton, leaving a cliffhanger for a sequel.
Wait,
yes.
wait. Superman
Krypton
fights
didn't
4
explode.
Kryptonians. This sounds very similar. This script sounds eerily similar to the one with Christopher Reeves, where there's like multiple Kryptonians, and I think it's the one with Zod as well.
Yeah.
No. Well, yeah. It seems like a mix of Superman 2 and Superman Returns, because at the end of at the beginning of Superman Returns, it's revealed that Superman goes off to fly or flies off to find the remains of Krypton, but in Superman 2, it's Zod and like his 2 lackeys. Oh, jeez. I can never remember their name. One of them is Null, and I can't remember the female's name, but they come and then they hassle Superman a bit. But Superman 2 is really good. So there's that, especially the Richard Donner cut.
Yeah, I was just saying that it sounded very similar because there's multiple Kryptons on Earth. I also can't remember which other movie. Oh, wait, it was Man of Steel that did that, and it was bad.
Yeah, that's true. Man
Why
of
is
Steel is
it
just a
always
bad movie in
multiple
general, though.
Kryptonians showing
Krypton
up
was
to Earth?
interesting on Man of Steel-ish.
Yeah, but like, why is it
Interesting-ish.
always multiple Kryptonians on Earth? And also, why not blow up Krypton? Why Abrams? Why didn't you blow up?
Well, see, and that's the weirdest thing is, like, I usually really like J.J. Abrams, so it's really weird that this is so not good. I don't know.
Also, at what time was this written?
2002.
2002.
Oh.
I mean, that can be forgiven. I mean, J.J. Abrams was probably a little bit younger, so I mean,
True.
I don't know exactly how many films he's made, but like, I have to imagine this is
A lot.
Yeah, but like, when did he start making movies?
A
Like,
lot.
Oh wow, thank you, Joseph,
Wow.
for those nice descriptors.
You're welcome.
He
Joseph is
probably
like my
was very
Alexa.
much early in his career, and the
Yeah,
2000s.
he totally was, because this is
Yeah.
around the time that Lost started and all these other whatever shows, like all the other things that he was a part of. Like he directed Mission Impossible 3, which I think was 2003 or 4. So that's something.
Was that before or after Tom Cruise became executive producer? Because then he didn't have much to do with it.
During.
Well,
I think maybe he was Mission Impossible 2 that he did that because of the rock climbing scene. I don't know. Anyway,
He wanted
look,
to be
moving
able to
on.
do
Let's talk a little
whatever
bit
stunts he
more about
wanted.
the background of this movie because it
right.
gets interesting. Chase, who's your favorite director and why is it Brett Ratner?
Well, it's not.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Because I figured you'd be excited by the fact that Brett Ratner was hired to direct Superman Flyby in September of 2002, originally expressing an interest in casting an unknown actor for the lead role,
Oh.
while filming was going to start somewhere late 2013.
Oh.
Brent who?
Brett Ratner?
Who?
Brett the Rat Ratner.
I've never heard of this man.
Oh, esteemed director of X-Men 3.
That dude couldn't direct Traffic.
That was a good line. Thank you for that, Chris. That was good.
Jeez. That dude?
Yeah. Oh, dude, it gets better whenever you find out who else they wanted to direct this movie. But I won't spoil that just yet.
Tell me more.
Oh, no. You have to wait. So, Brett Ratner approached both Josh Hartnett and Jude Law for Superman, but conceded that finding a famous actor for the title role had proven difficult because of contractual obligations to appear in sequels.
Colin Farrell as Superman.
It's an Irish Superman? I like that. Why not?
I mean, he could work on the American accent.
He's done American accents.
Exactly. Liam Neeson managed to do a somewhat decent one in Taken, so he could knock it out.
Somewhat decent, yeah. You can still hear a little bit of Irish pop in a little bit sometimes. But, also Liam Neeson's a great actor, so shut up. Okay. So anyway, which is interesting that Brett Ratner does say that nobody wanted to sign on for like sequels and stuff like that, because this is way before the MCU where you sign on for 10 years, and you have so many like Sebastian Stan, whenever he signed his contract for the Winter Soldier, that was a contract for 9 movie appearances.
Ooh.
So
and
yeah,
one TV show.
Well, yeah. Well, actually,
Yeah.
Anyway, so like I don't know, it's kind of funny, but anyway, he was quoted saying that no star wants to sign that, but as much as I've told Jude and Josh my vision for the movie, I've warned them of the consequences of being Superman. They'll live this character for 10 years because I'm telling one story over 3 movies and plan to direct all 3 if the first is successful, as everyone suspects. So Brett really thought his movie was going to
Guys,
kick it off, my
look,
guy.
I'm gonna be so famous. I'm directing an X-Men movie in like 2 years, guys. All right.
Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna
it.
be
Also,
popping
it was
off.
4.
Well,
Got him.
I'm bad at math. I got
So
it by
Josh-
half.
Josh Hartnett was offered $100 million and a 3-picture deal, but turned down the offer. Although Superman Flyby was being met with a budget exceeding $200 million, not including the money spent on Superman Reborn, Superman Lives, and Batman vs. Superman, the studio was still adamant for a summer 2004 release date. Here we go. Some more interesting casting. Christopher Walken was in negotiations to play Perry White, the newspaper editor. Yeah, Chief.
Clark, just work on the sports section, please.
Clark, I need you to work on sports
They want
and the cowbell.
you to cover the Gotham team. No one cares about Clark Kent taking on the Superman.
You mean or whatever.
I don't know.
Hey, by the way, Batman vs. Superman sucks. There's my one per podcast. All right, there it is. So anyway, while Ratner expressed an interest in casting Anthony Hopkins as Jor-El. Interesting. Personally, I think he would have been a little bit too old for that role, but I mean, I guess it makes sense if Krypton doesn't explode, and he would be old by that point. He would be an older man.
I still maintain Sir Ian McKellen would be a great Jor-El.
Oh, word? Okay, sure, buddy. Whatever. Whatever you say there, Christopher.
You don't think Sir Ian McKellen could have been Jor-El?
I think he could have been, but
Marlon
personally
Brando.
Now I don't know if it would work.
Marlon Brando played him.
You actually make a good point.
Marlon Brando didn't even care. Huh. He wore Rolex.
Yeah, no.
Did you know that he had Rolex on Krypton? Did you know that? Huh?
He wore a Rolex? I never noticed that.
He wore a Rolex. You never know? How did you never notice that? That's like the one thing everyone knows from Superman is he had a Rolex on.
I just enjoy that movie.
He had a Rolex on.
Crap. Well, you're just going to ruin that movie for me, aren't you? Thanks, bro.
It's not ruined. It blends in great. It's wonderful.
Well, I'm glad to know that Rolex transcends even Earth in its brand. That's
exactly.
Great. But hey, here's actually some good casting. Ralph Fiennes as Lex Luthor. Or excuse me, Rafe Fiennes as Lex Luthor, because it's pronounced Rafe instead of Ralph, even though it's spelled Ralph.
Well, Ralph Wiggums.
Voldemort as Lex Luthor, essentially, is what I'm getting at.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, that would have actually been really good casting, to be honest with you, Chieftains.
And he, well, they probably couldn't get him because at this point Harry Potter's still going, isn't it?
Yeah, it's starting to kick into gear. Although I wonder, I doubt he was playing him until Goblet of Fire. Yeah, because that's when he got his body, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he had one, but it was kind of nasty.
True. He was like a little baby.
It was weird. Yeah.
In the first one, he was on the back of someone's head for some reason.
And then he was a teenager in the second one.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Tim Riddle is a thing.
Tim Riddle. It's Tom Marlborough.
I said Tom, you butt.
It sounded like Tim. I blame Discord.
Tim Allen? Tim Allen as Voldemort?
Instead of Avada Kedavra, he just goes,
Avada Kedavra? Okay, anyway. Alright, so anyway. Christopher Reeve was also to be a project consultant, citing Tom Welling, who played teenage Clark Kent in Smallville, as an ideal candidate.
Ooh.
That isn't a bad idea.
That ain't half bad, and nearly 10 years later, we're kind of getting it.
I mean, kind of, yeah. Finally actually kind of getting maybe sort of a little bit of Tom Welling as Superman, even though they literally had to CGI him in the suit because he refused to put it on at the end of 10 years. What? Yep, that happened. We don't talk about it, though.
No.
Yeah. We don't.
Never.
We don't talk about the dark times.
We shouldn't talk about that. It's bad. But hey. Anyway, so Reeve added, the character is more important than the actor who plays him, because it is an enduring mythology. It definitely should be an unknown, which I agree with Reeve on that one, because Christopher Reeve actually knows the character. Even in Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, you can see that Christopher Reeves is giving it his all. Like, he's really trying to make it good. I mean, it's really bad, but he's trying.
He really tried in that one green screen asset of him flying that they used every single time he was flying.
They literally remake one scene from Superman 1 and Superman 4. The whole scene, the first flight with Lois, including the dropping and everything. Yeah. It's,
Yeah, because it's bad. It's very bad.
But anyway, good. in addition, Paul Walker was offered the role, while Ashton Kutcher had screen tested, and Brendan Fraser and Matthew Bomer auditioned.
Brendan
freaking Fraser.
Cowboy
as
Superman.
Yes. Which is funny that Matt Bomer and Brendan Fraser auditioned when they both wound up playing characters together in Doom Patrol.
Yeah, that is a little odd.
Yeah.
Interesting tidbit. I think that's kind of funny.
Small world.
Good old Robot Man and the Invisible Man. No, that's not what he's called. Negative Man? No, I can't remember what Larry's superhero name is called, but his name is Larry.
Man.
Oh, it's Negative Man. There. Okay, thank you.
Well, you said it, and I repeated it.
I appreciate it.
So
yeah, thank you for confirming. But anyway, okay. Anyway,
thank you for being
Kutcher decided not to accept the role, citing scheduling conflicts with That 70s Show and the Superman Curse, as well as tight casting. So, do you guys know what the Superman Curse is?
Nope.
No.
Okay, so this is one of the
Is it a
the
curse
classic,
about someone who plays Superman?
How did
I
you
bet it's a curse about
possibly
people who play
guess?
Superman.
Is it? Wait, is the curse of
Yep.
Superman that they
Mhm.
CGI your face? Like, did they CGI Christopher Reeve's face?
No. So, okay. The curse is basically like any actor who plays Superman has something tragic happen to them,
Oh no!
whether it be death or injury.
Oh no! That's what I
But-
thought it was, but I didn't want to say that because
Yeah.
I felt like that would be a bad thing to say.
No, that's actually something that people who people actually believe. So here's a list of actors who tragically passed away because of the Superman role: Kirk Allen, Bud Koiler, Lee Quigley, George Reeves, Christopher Reeves. And other alleged victims are Marlon Brando, Margot Kidder, Richard Pryor, Dana Reeve, Jerry Siegel and Joel Schuster, Max and Dave Fleischer, Kate Bosworth, the DVD crew of Superman Returns, and Allison Mack.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. So it's not just for
jeez.
movies, but it's typically only... Oh, geez, Rick! But anyway. But, like, it's not official, like, just for the movies, but it's usually used in that context. That's, like, any actor that plays Superman or people that are around Superman movies that they just, like, tragic things happen to them.
Has anything happened to Henry Cavill?
Yes, the mustache.
Oh,
The
Is
CGI
anything-
of the mustache.
did anything happen to the guy that played him in Justice League Unlimited?
No. Which
Okay.
is good, because that guy's
Well,
awesome, and I love him.
actually, we're wrong. The show got canceled, so
Oh.
that probably
Oh.
counts.
No, it doesn't count. But anyway, okay, so after... Okay, so Jerry O'Connell expressed interest for the role, while David Boreanaz also auditioned. So Booth from Bones, or Angel, if depending upon what you...
Borealis.
Okay, thank you for that. Anyway, but he also dropped out due to scheduling conflicts with Angel. Victor Webster did an entire screen test that included wardrobe as both Clark Kent and Superman, while James Marsden, here he is again, guys, James Marsden's back, met with director Brett Ratner. But Joel Edgerton, who turned down the chance to audition as Superman, auditioned for Ty Zor. So, yeah, that happened. But that was before Brett Ratner dropped out of the project in March of 2003, blaming casting difficulties and violent disagreements with John Peters. Do you guys know who John Peters is?
No.
I'm not aware of that.
Okay, so if you've listened to the podcast on Superman Lives, the canceled Nicolas Cage Tim Burton joint Superman movie, you'll know. And it's really weird because I know Chris has listened to it, and Chase, you were a part of the podcast. John Peters was the guy who wanted a giant robot spider and Superman to fight polar bears.
Oh, yeah.
The one that Kevin Smith went on and on about.
Oh,
That old tidbit.
That guy.
Oh.
Yep, that's him. Apparently, Brett Ratner had violent disagreements with John Peters.
I
Violent.
can't imagine how violent. Like, are we talking like polar bears fighting spider bots violent, or are we
Probably
talking just,
the
like...
kind of violence that... you know what's funny to me? I bet John Peters and Zack Snyder got along. Because Superman fights a tentacle monster in that movie. Man of Steel. He fights a tentacle monster.
That's true.
performed very well with the Japanese audience.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so now, Chris, even though I know Brett Ratner is Chase's favorite director and he's gone, you can rest well knowing that your favorite director picked up for the role, my boy.
Who is my favorite director, Joe?
Mick G.
Who?
Mick G.
Mick G?
Yes. Talented director known for Terminator Salvation and the Charlie Angels movies. What was that? Are you-
Sorry.
oh,
I know who
Fair
you're
enough.
talking about. I actually don't like this person.
yeah, because he's bad.
I actually do.
The only person they're missing is Michael Bay.
Look, my beef with Jared Leto may be a little played up.
Mhm.
My beef with this guy.
Yep. Go ahead.
We're throwing
Build up.
hands. We're throwing.
Oh, you're throwing hands.
Hands.
So let me get this straight. Not only are you going to fight Jared Leto, but you're also going to fight McG as well.
We need a director for it.
Fair enough. Let's do it. All right. So yeah, McG returned as a director, while Brandon Fraser expressed interest, but had fears of typecasting. Oh wait, sorry. No, I skipped forward by accident. My bad. That's my bad, my guys. Okay. So anyway, yeah. Selma Blair was in talks to play Lois Lane, while NESC Entertainment was hired for visual effects work with Kim I'm so sorry about last names, guys. Liberi? I don't know. As visual effects supervisor, and Stan Winston designing a certain prototype suit.
Oh no.
Yeah, good times.
If it's anything
McG approached. Oh no.
If it's anything like that Nick Cage suit, boy, we're in trouble.
Oh, good times. McG approached Shia LaBeouf for Jimmy Olsen, which is really good casting, actually.
That's actually not half
For
bad.
2002, yeah, that's really good.
That's actually because this is Even Stevens.
Or well, actually, this is 2003 now.
This is
But,
this
you
is
know,
around
not
Even
that much
Stevens,
different.
right?
Yep,
Or is this after Even Stevens goes off?
it's around that same time. Yep.
Gotcha. So I mean, like Shia LaBeouf hadn't changed until like Transformers. So I mean, that's
Yeah.
dye his hair
True.
red.
Do it. It would work. He's actually good casting, just like how Jimmy Olsen in Batman vs Superman should have been played by Jesse Eisenberg instead of him playing.
I don't really agree
Lex
with
Luthor.
that. I don't
Well, then
agree
again,
with
that's
that.
right. He would have got shot in the head right at the beginning because they
Well-
literally murdered Jimmy Olsen at the beginning of the movie.
Well,
Good
also,
times.
Jesse Eisenberg's a little old to be playing Jimmy Olsen. I feel like Jimmy Olsen needs to be just a little bit younger.
Yeah, true. I mean, he's the same age as Superman, but he looks young. Jesse Eisenberg still looks 16, but whatever.
Jesse Eisenberg still looks like he did in Zombieland. He still looks like
Yep,
he did in
10
Social
years
Network.
later.
Like,
Yep.
the only thing from him that's aged is he's got a little bit more wrinkles under his eyes, and that's about it.
I don't think he even has that.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway. Okay, so and there was also an interest to capture to like we were saying before, there was an interest to cast an unknown for Superman, Scarlett Johansson as Lois Lane, and Johnny Depp for Lex Luthor. McG, why?
No.
Johnny
What?
McG, stop.
This is
Johnny Depp.
this
McG,
is
stop.
This-
McG, stop.
well. I mean, this is during Pirates of the Caribbean as well. So
This
I
is
mean,
like right around the time of the first one. I don't remember when the first one came
I
out,
think-
but I'm pretty sure the second one was 2005. So
maybe
yeah, it would have been
I
around
mean-
the time of the first one.
that just isn't good casting though.
No,
Johnny
it's
Depp as
not.
Lex Luthor.
It doesn't really work. It's like Tim Burton, where he'll put Johnny Depp in anything. So it's like, watch my new movie where it features
okay,
Johnny Depp as
okay.
the table.
Look. We don't talk about the Tim Burton movies, okay? Johnny Depp gives his all for those.
True.
Sometimes he
For
gives
some
a little.
reason.
Sometimes he gives
He
a little
gives
bit
a
too
lot,
much of his
dude.
all.
He
But-
gives a little too much almost every time. Need I mention Alice in Wonderland?
Need I mention the charges?
Oh. Oh.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry, Jeff.
I'm sad. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway. So yeah, moving on. Right. Sorry. Okay. Right. Okay. So Neil H. Moritz and Gilbert Adler, were set to produce the film. McG also commissioned John Schwartz to rewrite the Abrams script. I can't speak. Okay. He wanted to shoot in Canada, which would have cost about $25 million more than Warner Brothers' preferred Australian locale. Also, this isn't in here, but apparently it was because McGee has a fear of flying over oceans.
Oh.
Yeah.
Take a boat.
So that's a thing. That's legitimately a thing. He didn't want to fly over oceans, I think. So anyway,
it's too hard.
McGee also shot test footage. Here, this gets interesting, because he shot test footage with several candidates, including Jason Behr, Jared Padalecki, Michael Cassidy, and Henry Cavill.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
young Henry Cavill.
Yeah, and there's actually like a photo of him in 2004 testing out for the role of Superman, and it actually looks really good. Like he looks better in this suit than he does in the Superman Returns suit, or Man of Steel suit. Sorry, because it's brighter and more colorful,
and it doesn't look like a mermaid pillow.
I mean, yeah, let's be real. But, like, okay, so, anyway, they all dropped out, blaming budgetary concerns and filming locations. He opted to shoot in New York City and Canada, McGee dropped out, blaming budgetary concerns and filming locations. He opted to shoot in New York City and Canada, but Warner Brothers wanted Sydney, Australia. McGee felt it was inappropriate to try to capture the heart of America on another continent. But in another country, that's okay. Good job, McGee. I'm proud of you. What? Even? Like, okay. Whatever. Anyway, so he later admitted it was his fear of flying.
Look,
Abrams
guys.
lobbied for the chance to direct his script, but Warner Brothers replaced McGee with Bryan Singer in July 2004, resulting in Superman Returns.
Oh.
A string of bad directors.
We went from Last Stand to the first X-Men.
Yes.
Ah!
Welcome to
That's
Superman Flyby.
bad! That's
What a
horrible
roller coaster.
decision.
Yep. Guys, that's Superman Flyby. Thank you so much for listening to me read off this wiki.
Oh.
So, Chase, why don't you explain the rules for What If?
Okay, for What If, after every single time we explain a service provided by a certain company about comic book stuff, we put it in a scenario. And in this certain
I just
scenario...
punched my desk.
Good job.
You didn't mean to.
In this certain scenario, we take basically our same universe. It's an alternate universe, but this certain thing was made. So in this case, it's Superman Flyby. Superman Flyby has been made, and we wake up. We're in a theater, and the title screen comes up. Superman Flyby. We have a choice. We can watch it, or not watch it. And that's how it goes. That's the rules.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's it.
Chris, how would you take your chance? What option would you take?
I feel like I would probably watch it just so I could see, later on at the end of the credits in memory of McGee, who died in a plane crash on the way to Sydney, Australia.
Word?
And honestly, I just feel like I'd see Henry Cavill in this suit, and probably think, this man could use some CG right on his upper lip. But seriously,
Yeah.
I probably would watch it. Let's be honest. It was what year were they planning on this coming out?
Probably around, I don't even know.
Like 2005, 7, something.
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be like 7 years old. I'd probably eat that crap up. So
Yeah. Okay.
I couldn't imagine me watching it after that though.
Okay.
Like,
Fair.
That's a dust on the shelf type of movie.
That's okay. Fair. Chase, what about you, man?
Oh! I mean, I guess I'd watch it. Like, why not? You know. But at the same time,
yeah.
I wouldn't want to watch it. Like, it would be it's like when you're watching a car crash happen. You watch it, but not because you want to, just because you're glued to the situation.
Like morbid curiosity.
Yeah. You're just like, oh, okay, this is happening. All right, it's happening. Oh, they're about to hit each other.
Yeah,
oh.
I kind of agree. I think I would definitely probably pick the option to watch it just to, see what's going on. But at the same time, trying to escape the theater that's floating in the what if Twilight Zone, I think that might also be a very good option, because I've been trapped here for about 3 years now and I'm ready to get out. Help.
Okay. All right.
Is nobody else going to talk about how we've been trapped in this theater for like every single month?
I'm new here.
I'm scared.
I'm very.
But
new
anyway,
here.
guys, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the podcast, like, comment, subscribe, or rate whatever podcast hosting site you're listening on. Good times. All right, so actually, seriously, please tell someone about the show. That helps us out way more than you can realize. Just get more listeners. That would be quite swaggy. I want to... why am I the way that I am?
It's staying in.
Super gangsta. Anyway, Chase, how should they tell people to listen?
That's a great question.
And I can tell it's one that you weren't ready for.
You go to Dollar Tree and you buy a bunch of those little mini candles. You know, the ones that burn for like 5 minutes and then you can't ever use them again. You buy like 1,000 of those. It's only going to be like $60. You go out to your favorite park where it is fall at this point because you've planned it right. And, you know, all the leaves, they're on the ground. They're all dry and they're dirty. They're just dry. They're ready to be burnt. You get them into a nice little pile and you spell out in the park, on the grass, or wherever. I don't really care. Subscribe to Heroic Power Entertainment. And then you take these candles, which you have placed underneath the leaves, and you light them, which causes a nice little fire, okay? And then, you know, after a little bit, a little wildfire's going to start. That's fine. That's no problem. You then are going to get a bunch of news coverage, and boom, there we go. You're going to see it right there. Subscribe to Heroic Power Entertainment across all major news networks. If we get enough of you to do it, that'll really help out the channel. Thanks, guys. That's great.
Awesome. Thanks, Chase. Chris, what about you? You got anything, any ideas for people to go and listen to the podcast?
Oh, of course. So, what you're going to do is make sure that you are of at least 16 years of age. You're going to start looking for jobs. You'll probably start at a grocery store, McDonald's, something like that. You're going to start saving money. And as you save money, you'll open a bank account and use that money for goods and services, and you'll have change after that. So start saving up the change into a piggy bank until you've accumulated enough that you have to take that jar of coins to the bank. So while you're at the bank, slip the teller a note that says subscribe to Heroic Power Entertainment. And then once the police have you handcuffed and thrown to the ground, you should be able to tell them about the show.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good times. I'm glad that we I really hope we don't ever get into legal trouble for some of the jokes that we make in this podcast. I mean, everyone knows it's a joke, right? Like, don't actually be stupid, please.
No, yeah. Do it.
It's a joke.
Do it.
It's
a
joke. Yeah.
Do it.
It's a joke.
Do it. Guys, thank you so much for listening for Heroic Power Entertainment. I'm Joseph Gallion. Waiting on Chase.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Frantically looking at stuff. I'm a clip.
And
All right.
And I'm Kaboom Foamtastic with the power of OxyClean.
Hey.
Yeah, okay, why not? Guys, thanks for listening. Bye.